And I'm Ellen Barber.
And we're the Scrambled Bloggers.
Today we're going to teach you how to make pasta with pesto and apple pie with homemade vanilla ice cream.
Enjoy! So we're going to get started on the pie crust. Right now Ellen has 2 cups of flour in a bowl, and we already have prepared 2/3 cup of shortening, which we're going to add to the flour mixture. And we also have 2 tablespoons of chilled butter that we're gonna add. Here's butter. Our hands are clean, just so you know. Okay, now we're gonna cut the shortening and butter into the flour mixture. You could use a food processor, but I'm always like too lazy to do that. So it takes kind of a little bit of time, but you wanna do it until the shortening and butter form small peas in the flour. We're also adding in a teaspoon of salt. Okay, so it takes kind of a while, but it's sort of a fun way to get out your aggression, if you have any aggression. So while Ellen's doing that, I'm gonna put flour on the countertop because we're gonna get ready to roll out the pie dough. Here we have 4 tablespoons of water, and we're gonna put in 1 tablespoon at a time into the dough. And as we do that, you'll see the dough start to gather together and form a ball. You may not use all of it, or you might need more water. It just depends on the humidity, depending on the day. So we're gonna start adding the water in 1 tablespoon at a time. And Ellen's fluffing it with a fork just because it helps to evenly distribute the water as opposed to using like a spoon or something like that. Okay, so we floured our surface, and we're also gonna put flour on the rolling pin. Make 2 flat discs and put them in the fridge to cool for about 30 minutes to an hour.
We're going to make homemade vanilla ice cream to put on top of our apple pie. So the first thing we're going to put in is 3/4 a cup of whole milk and half a cup of granulated sugar. You basically know that all the sugar is dissolved in it when you don't feel it like crunching on the bottom. It usually takes about like 1 to 2 minutes. Next we're gonna add in 1.5 cups of heavy whipping cream and 3/4 a tablespoon of vanilla extra. So now you just pour this into your ice cream maker and you let it stir for 25 minutes.
So if you know that you're making ice cream ahead of time, sometimes you need to put the base of your ice cream machine in the freezer to chill beforehand. So right now Ellen and I are getting started on peeling and slicing our 5 cups of apples, and we also have a lemon here that we're going to use to keep the apples from oxidizing, which is just turning brown. You can cut the apples into basically any shape that you want. Some people like to do like the half moon shape or things like that. I like to do thin little like squares. About that size. Great. Pie crust on the bottom, we can add our apples. So while Ellen does that, I'm going to start cutting this pie dough that I rolled out into strips, and we're going to weave the strips between each other to make a lattice top. We're going to put the pie into a 450-degree oven for about 10 minutes just to let the crust start to bake and get working. But after 10 minutes, we're going to turn the oven down to 350 degrees. And we'll bake the pie for 35 to 45 minutes, just until the crust is golden brown and the apples are bubbly. Always hold your pie parallel to the ground because you don't want to risk any spillage of the juices that may have leaked out of the apples. But now we're going to put the pie in the 450-degree oven for 10 minutes. Wow, it's hot. Okay. So now we're going to get started on the pesto, and pesto is really nice because you can do it to taste. So like if you like a lot of garlic, then you can put more garlic in. So we're just going to start with a half a cup of pine nuts along with our 9 cloves of garlic. So now we're going to add the basil.
So Carolyn's just putting on a pot of water to boil for the pasta. A tip to make water boil faster is if you put a little bit of salt in it.
So we're going to continue to puree the basil, garlic, and pine nuts, and we're going to gradually stream in 1.5 cups of olive oil. So we should start to see it all coming together. We just have 2 boxes of bow tie pasta that are going to go with our pesto. We're just going to boil them. I'm just slicing bread, our dinner. We're gonna have a nice dinner with all of our friends. The noise you hear in the background is the ice cream machine just finishing up our vanilla ice cream for our apple pie.
Okay, so the ice cream just finished turning, so this is what it should look like at the end. We're just gonna put it in the freezer till all our sweets.
We hope you enjoyed cooking with us today.
Here are our final products. We have pasta with pesto, apple pie, and the homemade ice cream, and then bread for a side.
We really hope you try these recipes. Enjoy! Bread.